So if you have to jump off the call, take a call from a client or leave early for any reason, we will be sending everybody a recording about an hour after we finish today. So you can reference this back at any time. Just so you know, we are a very social company and we have our own Premier Agent Academy social aliases here. Feel free to take screenshots of the webinar, ask us questions on social media, and engage with us there. So you have a face to the name. This is me. My name's again Alexa Hancock, and I'm an account manager for Zillow Group, working out of our Seattle headquarters office. So my role within the company has been working with agents both one-on-one and in group settings, helping you utilize our tools for your business, as well as really assisting Premier agents on best practices and how to be most successful. So happy to be here today. Hopefully I have some great tips that can help all of you. And you are here for the Premier Agent Success Training webinar. So this webinar is specifically geared towards new Premier agents. Premier agents, for those who aren't, are advertising agents. You are all welcome though, whether you advertise or not. We will be going through some kind of basic tips on that online profile. And feel free to, if something is confusing or if you have questions that come up, ask me questions throughout the webinar, and I will try and address them as they come in. Otherwise, I will, of course, make some time for them at the end. Want to share what we'll be going over today, just so you have some expectations. We'll be going into the kind of Premier Agent advertising, talking about kind of basics about what this looks like for you all. Now that Zillow and Trulia are under the same umbrella, what benefits you all have with a combined profile. If you are an advertising agent, we'll go into how you can share costs with a lender of your own choosing with our co-marketing program. And then we'll go into some great technologies, specifically our Premier Agent app, going through some tools in that, show you how you can post a listing video for your listings as well. Lastly, after all of that, we will be going through a live demo of an agent's profile. I'll walk you through the basic steps and most important things to kind of notice when you're working on building out your online account there. So let's go ahead and get started. Premier Agent advertising, which many of you I believe are doing. This is the opportunity to advertise in any given zip code that you want to grow your business in, or where you want to kind of farm. And you're showing up on active for sale listings on Zillow and on Trulia. So you're showing up in the same zip codes on these two separate websites, kind of repeatedly being shown in front of a lot of consumers who are looking for real estate agents' expertise and help. A lot of our agents do begin advertising here because it's a great way to target a specific market where you're really wanting to grow your business. And one point to make about the difference of Zillow and Trulia, both are separate brands, separate websites, and we've found that the consumers on both of these sites don't overlap very much. If somebody is using Trulia, typically they're loyal to Trulia, and same goes for Zillow. So as a Premier agent, you really are across these two separate consumer sites, meaning it's a larger group that you're being seen in front of, both online and on mobile web. Now, although you are being shown and advertised on these two sites, you only have one account to manage, and that is your Zillow account. So focus everything now on Zillow, meaning come to Zillow and sign into your account. That's where you request reviews. That's where you add your sales. And these things that you update on Zillow will publish to both sites, both on Zillow and on Trulia online and on mobile. This also includes your contacts, managing your leads. All leads come into your Zillow Premier Agent inbox. So think of your Trulia account as a read-only. There's really no reason to go there anymore, so focus everything on Zillow, but they publish to both sites. If you are a Premier agent, wanted to let you know about an opportunity. It's a can-do opportunity, not a must-do. So if you have lenders that you work with, you can have a lender contribute to your Premier agent advertising monthly cost. They'll partner with you that way by sharing the cost, and your lender gets exposure linked with your profile, your listings, and your zip code advertising. So it's a benefit for your lender that they get to connect directly with consumers who need to get pre-approved or who need financing information. And then, of course, the win for you is that shared advertising cost of up to 50% of your monthly cost. And this is not required, so if you don't have these already formed lender partnerships, just keep this in mind for the future. Otherwise, in my demo, the live demo will show you where you can go to connect this partnership and get it started. All right, one of our somewhat newest technologies, that the app has been around for about a year. This may be repetitive for some of you if you already have the Premier Agent app. Briefly though, for those who don't have this, make sure to download the free app today because it's built just for you. It's built for agents. It's a standalone app for your iOS or Android device, and you can download and search for it by typing Premier Agent. Once you download this app, you're going to log in with your Zillow login credentials, and what then happens is your online Zillow account, the account that you go to Zillow.com, you sign in, you access it on a computer, that account receives an automatic upgrade because we built this newer, better inbox that syncs with the app. So you have this kind of one-stop shop to manage all leads, everything with your account. And just to give you an overview, this is really meant to help you manage everything in one place. So within this Premier Agent app, you can respond to leads. Quick response is key with online leads, so you can do that by text, email, call from the app. Now you can monitor your pipeline. These leads that you're working and cultivating long-term, you can use this app to assist with that. Part of that is by tracking the status of every lead, whether it's a new lead, a hot lead, a cold lead, or it's a sold. And then, of course, within this app, you are able to manage your profile. So ask for reviews, add your sales, manage your listings, and add the listing video. So you have a lot of great features within the app. Definitely download this today and spend some time playing around. One thing I'd like to highlight, though, specifically is about contacts and responding to contacts. So for your Premier Agent advertising or for your own listings, if you get a lead from those different spots, you're going to get an alert from the app that pops up on the home screen of your phone. The alert will say new Premier Agent contact. And if you click that alert, it opens up this message details page you see on the screen in front of you. This is the kind of basic message details. So the property that person inquired about, their name, their info, the MLS number. And if you look at the bottom of that phone icon, you'll see a dark blue menu. That dark blue menu is your quick response toolbar, where you can click one button to email, text, call, or forward that lead. And just a note about that, when you click to call, it calls them from your own number. When you click to email, it'll email them from your preferred email provider. And again, just to reiterate, when you click to SMS or text, it'll text them and pull up that text thread on your phone's text homepage. So it's keeping these conversations convenient for you and wherever you're kind of following up with leads most. Now, on that same message detail page, all you now need to do is swipe your finger from the right to the left, and then you'll see the full property information page. So now, when somebody contacts you from a listing, you have that information within 2 clicks. You'll see the MLS number, full property details, including home details, as well as the listing agent's information, and a click their photo to call them directly. Then swipe one more time, again from the right to the left, and it'll pull up the profile summary that you see on the right there. Here is where we're sharing consumer insights. So basically, any information we can gather about that person, we'll share that with you here as soon as they contact you. So that information we'll find can include if they're pre-approved, their search history, and a fun one, which is their public social media sites. If we access that, and we do pay to kind of try and get these features, if we've found these, we will share that with you immediately. All of these three kind of pages in the app are meant to help you have more productive conversations and hopefully build rapport faster with these online leads so that you can convert them and be profitable here. But moving right along, another feature within the app I wanted to make sure you all knew about was the listing video walkthrough. This is a free feature for everybody, whether you advertise or not, and it's meant to be a virtual kind of walkthrough that you take through the app for your listings. It's meant to be complimentary to any other listing video or virtual tour you may have already created for your listing, and this video through our app that you take is only going to be live and published on Zillow and Trulia. The big benefit to doing this video is on Zillow and Trulia, your listing is going to get boosted to the top of search results. So with the video, it'll get more views, and then of course, hopefully more saves because of that. So this is something you can do very easily through the app. I'll walk you through some simple steps. First, from the menu in the Premier Agent app, you find your listing. And you find your listing one of two ways. First, if your listing is already active, you click on Listings and Video. Now, you can take the video prior to your listing being active. If you're doing that, if the listing is not yet an active listing, what you'll do from the menu of the app is click on Search All Homes, as you should see that on the screen in front of you. When you click on Search All Homes, you're then going to pull up the search for that property by the address. So now that you found your listing one of those two ways, you'll then click the Add Video button to begin recording. It's very simple. It pulls up the recording like the camera on your phone actually, so you can begin recording right then and there. So some tips for the recording section. The video is silent. It will not record anything. It's meant to be just a visual silent walkthrough, so you can speak throughout it, sing, have music on. We won't record any of that, so you don't have to worry about it. You can take up to 2 minutes of video, but that 2 minutes does not have to be one seamless video. It can actually be taken in a series of clips that the system here will connect together, adding transitions in between. Taking it in these clips will create a more quality video, meaning, let's say you begin recording while you're standing in the entryway. You stand in one spot, you hit record, and you pan around that room. Pause it. You can watch that clip, and if you like it, then you simply move on to the next room. Once you walked over to the next room, you stand in one spot again, hit record, and pan around again. This way, we don't see the in-between. We don't see the video of you walking up the stairs, for example, and we only see the highlights of the home that you really want to focus on. So after you've taken the video, then you can preview it. You can watch the video before you could choose to publish it. So some pretty simple steps. What you need at most basic is the app and access to the home. And again, this is free for all agents, whether or not you are advertising. You simply need to have a Zillow profile and download and utilize this app on your phone. So then we can move right along, and that takes us to our demo portion. So let's go ahead and pull that up. But before I get to this section, I did want to also show everybody just a listing that's on Zillow, because as a Premier agent, I find that it's very important that you know how you appear and how you will be seen on our site. So I have a listing here in Seattle, and if you look over here on the right, this is my contact agent box. So you'll see 4 agents here. That top agent is the listing agent. Now, everybody can show up in this prominently placed location for their own listings for free. All you need is that Zillow profile. Now, underneath that listing agent, we have 3 Premier agents. These agents are paying to advertise in this specific zip code. So what you'll see is that our consumers have an option of who they want to contact. And that's why it's important to build out your online brand and spend time kind of putting your best foot forward in a sense. So that's why we'll do this live demo through an agent's profile so that you know where to focus your time and energy on that online account. So here's Alan Agent. He is my model for the day. And the first thing that everybody most likely notices on this page is the photo. The photo is the first impression. And so make sure that you have a good quality photo on your account. By good quality, I mean it shouldn't be blurry. It shouldn't be very old. Definitely we want to make sure that it looks more modern in a sense. We prefer a light background because the light background makes you pop more and stand out. And then lastly, no sunglasses, no props, no animals. This is a professional photo for your professional profile, so it can definitely be fun. You can show your personality, but err on the side of being a little more professional. Now, after the photo, the most important thing that every agent needs to focus on with this account is asking for and building up client reviews. In this day and age, online reviews really influence how consumers choose, whether it's a certain thing on Amazon, whether it's a restaurant they're going to try out, or a real estate agent who they want to find to help them with a huge purchase in their life. Now, if you're a new agent, I know this section can be kind of daunting, but as new agents, as well as experienced agents, keep in mind that you can have anybody you've given a service to review you. That does not mean you have to wait until you're closing on a deal. That means if you've shown a home, they can write a review for you. If you've done any consulting, if you've worked in rentals or property management, these are all really great reasons for you to reach out for reviews because your services really extend a lot farther than just the contract and sold deals. Now, how to get these reviews? You're all going to be very proactive and reach out to any client you've helped over time, and there's two main ways you can do that. So I'm on the Profile tab. The Profile tab is where you'll all do most of the work from. And I'll come over here to the Request Review button on the right. Oh, bear with me just a second. It's kind of timed me out here. Now this review process, I know that it can be a little daunting for people just because sometimes it can be like pulling teeth to get your clients to do the review. Most of your clients will be more than willing and more than happy to write the review for you. They may just get distracted and forget. So the first way you can ask for the review is by using the Zillow form you see on this page. All you need is the email addresses for your clients, and you input them here into this top box. You can send up to 50 at a time. It's kind of the bulk format option. When you send more than one, make sure you separate those email addresses by a comma with no spaces in between, just like that. We have a message already written for you. You can, of course, update this, change it, but keep in mind that we won't save your changes. This will revert back to this original message after you've sent out the first batch of requests. Then scrolling down here, you can indicate that this was a past or current client and then send the request. When you send the request from this form, the thing I really like about it is this tracking over here on the right-hand side of the page. This will show you the date and who you sent the request to, as well as the status, whether they have submitted the review or if they haven't, and then if it's pending, published, or rejected. So great visibility for you all. What I don't like about this way of sending the request is that this is going to send your clients an email from Zillow. And sometimes, since it's coming from a big company, that email goes straight to their spam or junk folder, and they may not even see it. So that's the risk. Now, we give you another option for asking for the reviews. So let me share that. Coming down to the bottom of the page, you'll see it says send the client a direct link to your review form. And you click on that word, those words, direct link. That will show you your unique URL that you can copy and then send to your clients by pasting it into an email from your own email account. Or you can paste this link into a text message to a client from your phone. Or send it in a Facebook message or post it on your Facebook wall. All of you have your own link that you can copy once. It doesn't change, so you can continue to use the same link. Basically, your clients will click this link and it pulls up the review form where they fill everything out for your review right then and there. The downside to this is the fact that we can't track it. So you won't have the same visibility for when your clients are doing the reviews. You'll have to follow up with them more manually yourself. Now, you have these two ways to ask for the reviews. They're pretty simple, and like I said earlier, sometimes the hardest part of this process is getting clients to do the review. So a couple tips. First of all, probably the best way to get that review request to your contacts is by texting that direct link. Most people will open up a text message, and most people have smartphones now, so they can do the review right from their phone. Otherwise, giving your clients a call or asking in person is always a great way to kind of put a personal touch to it. And then if you're really having trouble getting reviews, I know some agents will do like specials or drawings. So if you write a review for me, you'll be entered into a drawing for a local gift card, for example. That aside, the most important thing is being consistent. Ask for these reviews and continue to ask and follow up with your clients. Two details that I want you all to know, though. First of all, we require that your clients input their email address when they submit the review. This means if they don't have a Zillow account, they create one. The reason for that is that we can prevent fraud, but let them know this ahead of time so that when they get to that point, they aren't surprised and they don't quit. If they don't submit their email, the review does not go through. Second thing to know is that when they submit the review, reviews do not get published right away. They go to a team here that reads them first manually. And we check reviews first to make sure they're appropriate and follow our guidelines. So two things with that. That can take some time. Right now, it'll take that team about a week to get through reviews. And second thing there is the fact that we do not publish every review. We will reject some. And we reject reviews for some obvious reasons. For example, if they have inappropriate language, if they aren't related to real estate. But sometimes the most common reason a review could be rejected is if it doesn't have enough detail. That team is looking for two specific things in your client's reviews, and there are two questions that they have to answer. So feel free to write down these two questions that I'll give to you and include this in your request for the reviews. The first question your clients need to answer is how you help them in real estate. Just what was that service you gave them? So how you help them in real estate. And the second question is why they would recommend you. Not if, but why they would recommend you. So they can answer these two questions in 2 sentences. They do not need to write a ton of information, but they do have to give those kind of specific details for those questions. And I think it's helpful also to give them a starting point so your clients know where to begin writing and what to speak about in reference to your service. So a lot about reviews. Definitely want everybody to be working on this because consumers love reviews and they trust them, so make this a priority. But enough about them for now. So let's head back to the profile by coming up here to your Agent Hub menu and clicking on Profile. The next thing that all of you need to keep up to date are your past sales. Past sales do not update here automatically. We do not receive past sale information from the MLS. You have to manually enter them in. And it's easy, but it just takes an extra step. So from the profile page, we're going to click on Past Sales up in the menu at the top here. And then to add a sale, either a buy side or a sell side, you'll come in here and first enter in the address. Now make sure you include the full street and city and state or zip code because we are pulling from across the country. Press Add Sale on the right or Enter on your keyboard. And you'll see the property comes up here with some different sold dates that we know of from public record. So once you've pulled up the property, the next step is to see if your transaction is already implemented, if it's already filled in. So for example, this property, let's say Alan sold this in December of 2016. I don't see that date here. The most recent one was back in 2009. And that's okay, if you don't see your transaction here, no need to worry. You simply come down to this bottom row, and let's click into the sold date and choose the date from this drop-down menu. See December 2nd, then you type in the price, $5, it was a steal. He represented the seller, and then add to profile. It's that simple. So what you'll want to do is start by adding your sales from the last year because those are the sales we highlight initially. But I had a great question from Sylvia about how far back can you go when adding your sales history. You can go back as far back as you would like. If you've been in business 30 years, 40 years, I would suggest adding every sale you've closed. I know it might take some more time to do that, but if you've closed these deals, you've done this great work, you might as well showcase it here. So you can go back as far back as your very first sale when updating these sales on your account. What you can't show in here, and another question we had was, what about rentals? These are only for buy or sell transactions. You can't add rentals in this section. The best way to show that experience are the reviews. Reach out to your rental clients, have them review you on your services there, and that's a great way to strengthen your profile. Now, different than your sales though, your listings, the majority of our listings come from the MLS or large brokerages. So when you post an active listing on Zillow, or just on the market actually, excuse me, it should auto-populate up to this My Listings tab in your account. Now, the way we know it's your listing, for example, is by the email address that you use within the MLS or your brokerage. That email address you use in that side of your business needs to be linked with this Zillow account, and that's really easy to check into. So from this My Listings page, I'll click onto Account. And under Account, you'll see we have one main email up here. This is your login email, and this is where notifications go when you get a new lead. But there's also a chance to add additional email addresses. So taking Alan, for example, Alan works for Keller Williams. So he uses his Keller Williams email in his MLS. So what he'll need to do is come under here to Manage Email Addresses and add his Alan at KW email address here. Type it in twice, hit Submit. That will then pull over any listings Alan has posted in the MLS or brokerages based on this email. Now, if you do this and your listing still doesn't update, there is the option to manually post a listing, always, or you can contact our agent care team. By contacting your agent care team, they can look into your listing, see if we're getting it from the MLS or brokerage, see if there's a feed, or give you, better instructions. And you can reach agent care at their email address, which is agentcare@zillowgroup.com. One more time, that's agentcare, and excuse me, it's only at Zillow.com. Agentcare@Zillow.com. And I will share that at the very end and put it up on a slide so you have that reference. So I had a question about, if you were on a team, really quickly, going back to those sales, if you're on a team and you, worked with a co-lister or co-buyer, sales and listings can only be linked to one individual account. So unfortunately, if you co-listed a property, only one of you can claim that as a sale, unless one represented the buyer and the other represented the seller. Now, there is also a team feature for your profile. So very quickly, I know not all of you on this call are on a team. A lot of you are individual agents. If you are on a team, there is the option to connect your profile together as a team account. So let me briefly show you where you go to start this. I won't go in depth into that, but let me take us back to the profile tab up here. And if, for example, you are the team lead, you can come in here under Profile to Team Management. When you click into Team Management, this will then take us to your kind of team page. Alan has already said he is the team lead. So let's say he's the head broker and he has some buyer's agents who help him out. He can then add team members and invite these buyer's agents and their profiles to show up on Alan's as part of his team. So it'll show on Zillow and Trulia that you have a nice, well-rounded team while keeping your profile separate where you can manage your own account still. If you are on a team and you want any more specific instructions, feel free to follow up with an email I'll share with you after the call. I know not many of you are in this situation, so I just wanted to briefly go over that. But feel free, if you want more instructions as a team, let me know. Now, real quickly, I also wanted to share with you if you are interested in partnering with a lender, where you can go to do that. And that's up here in the Advertising tab. Underneath Advertising, you'll click on Lender Co-Marketing. Now, you'll click on Invite a Lender Now. Before you get to this point, though, I do encourage you all to have a conversation with the lenders that you want to invite. Typically, you want to introduce the program to them personally, ask if they're interested, discuss a percentage, a portion of what they're going to cover. Again, that range can be up to 50% and a minimum of $20 per month for your lender to partner with you on Zillow and Trulia. Why I say you should talk to them first, because what you'll do is fill out this form, their name, email, phone number, and you do have to put in a dollar amount for how much they're going to contribute. So that's why you should chat with them ahead of time. Make sure you discuss the dollar amount to see what they're both able to do and willing to do for your account here. Once you've clicked Invite a Lender, your lender is going to get an email invitation from Zillow asking for them to partner with you right from there. All right, though, jumping into the last big thing I want to talk about, I'm going to take us over to this Inbox tab. The Inbox tab is where every lead is tracked, and this is also the page that when you sign into the app, this page is the automatic upgrade, because this inbox syncs with what you see in the app. So if you make a change here, it'll update in the app and vice versa. And when you look at this page, it should look to you like it's separated into 3 different columns. This should sync and coincide with the 3 different columns I showed you in the app. First on the left, we have the message. Then in the middle, we're going to have actually the listing or the calls that are recorded. And on the right, we have the contact panel, which is information about the lead, that person specifically. So their Facebook, their social media, their search history. Now, whenever you get a lead, you should be notified of it through the app, through sometimes email, text, different ways. I'm sure I don't really need to go through the importance of following up quick. Definitely, I encourage you all to make sure you text or call a lead within the first 5 minutes of receiving that. Even if you wait 10 minutes, you lose a lot of opportunity in reaching the lead and hopefully then converting it over time. So make sure you're responding right away, and don't give up too quickly if somebody is unresponsive. What I coach on as far as how much you should be continuing to follow up if that lead does not respond back. That first day you get a lead, bare minimum, your 3 touches. That is 1 call, 1 text, 1 email. If not more, 3 to 5 touches that first day. The second day, don't wait, don't skip a day, at least 1 text, 1 call, 1 email, at least 3 touches again. After those first 2 days, if you still have not heard back from the lead, then you can start to space it out as far as when you're reaching out and how, but try them a few more times the rest of the week. If you add all that up together, that's really a total of like 8 to 15 touches that you're making to engage with that lead who contacted you. Agents who are able to do that or something similar, something that aggressive, will have more conversations and then convert at a higher percentage, thus making more money, making a profit. And that's the goal of this Premier Agent Advertising, is that you gain clients and make a profit from what you're investing here. Now, a couple features I want to highlight within this inbox. This inbox is a CRM, a customer relation management tool. And so there's some basic features I want to mention that can help with long-term cultivating of leads and helping you stay organized. Specifically looking at this right-hand column, up here in the top left, you're going to see the status. Right now it's at cold. Everything comes in as new, and then it is up to you to update that lead status based on your follow-up and your attempts to reach them. So for example, if you call this person right back, you find out they are a cash buyer, they're ready to buy right now, that would be a hot lead. If they're just starting to look, but not quite ready, that can be a warm lead. You want to make sure you're staying in touch with them differently than you would a hot or a cold lead. If you update the status for each lead, you are then going to be able to sort and pull up all of your cold contacts and implement a follow-up strategy for those that are different than when you pull up your warm contacts. So one simple thing, but that can really help long-term. Another thing here in the middle is a notes section. You can type in any virtual sticky note, anything you want to remember about your follow-up or your conversations with these leads. Those are two quick things, and then one other last thing I want to show you all here in your inbox is coming up here to settings. You are able to create a message template, which is basically an email draft, and activate this so that it auto-responds to every lead. It sends an email to any new lead that contacts you immediately. So how you start this autoresponder is you come in here and click on Add New Template, and you fill out each of these fields. The template name is just for your reference. They won't see this, so I'll title it Autoresponder. The subject line is, thank you for your inquiry. And these are just examples. Feel free to customize this and personalize it with your own kind of spin on it. And then in the content, you could say something like, thank you for reaching out. What is the best way for me to get in touch, in touch with you today? And then sign off with your phone number and your name. Now, you can, of course, like I said, customize this, but one thing I definitely suggest you leave in here or include is a question. End this email with a question that relates to follow-up. So one example I have here is, what is the best way for me to get in touch with you today? Another example could be, what's the best time for me to call you? You could say, do you prefer phone, text, or email? Don't leave it closed by just saying, I'll be in touch shortly. Leave it open-ended. Prompt them to respond back to you. Doesn't mean they will, of course, but at least this opens up the conversation and allows them to contact you again. Once you're finished with writing this up, you'll click on Add New Template to save it. And then on the right-hand side is the action section where you can set as autoresponder or change which one you have. So you can click on Set as Autoresponder, which means that turning on this responder will reply to all incoming messages using this template that you created and selected. Now, if you set up this autoresponder, don't think that you don't need to call or text. Still try and call or text every new online lead because it's imperative that you follow up right away. This is more of a backup, and it might give you a little more wiggle room where they get confirmation that you've got their inquiry and that you will be following up. So now that was the last thing I wanted to show everybody here in the inbox, just to show you our menu changes a little bit. So to take us back to the profile, you'll hover over your photo up there and click back here. I'll jump back to our kind of our PowerPoint, excuse me, because I wanted to share some additional resources for you all. Just so you know, if you are a Premier agent, you have a dedicated business consultant who is there to help you with anything and everything you need. So really use them as a resource. Another thing to know is we have a lot of real estate data and research available publicly online at zillow.com/research. We have trends, we have forecasts, we have market overviews that you can zero in on your specific market. This is a really great thing to look into before a listing presentation, for example. Here is that agent care email that's for any technical issues, listing issues, and it's simply agentcare@zillow.com. And then lastly, this is the email that will go right to me, onboardhelp@zillowgroup.com. Any questions you have, anything that's not clear, if you want me to give you some advice on your account profile, feel free to contact me directly, and I'll be happy to get you the help you need. Now, I will stay on the line for about 1 minute to see if we have any other questions that come in. I think I answered a couple so far. If you have to leave, just a reminder, I am sending out the recording of this webinar, so everybody will get that in about an hour or so you can listen back at your convenience. All right, so I had a question about whether if your brokerage is not a member of an MLS, can we pull listings from like your website, for example? We pull listings from different sources. We just, like, let's say we do different brokerages. There are some websites that have feeds with us. It does need to be like a full setup. They have to set up a feed. So William, I will send you directly an email with the email address for our listing support team where they're actually creating these feeds and setting that up. I'll send you that information afterwards. It's not a simple process of just checking off a box, yes, send us your listing. Sometimes it's a little more involved. But William, I'll send you the email directly after the call. One question kind of about advertising, and if you're in multiple different zip codes, like checking out your ROI and making sure each zip code is profitable. In your advertising section of your Zillow account, you have a very clear understanding of each zip code, what your kind of share of voice is, what your percentage of how much you're showing up, as well as what we think you'll see on leads. Then you just simply need to track it all a little bit more manually. Every lead from Premier Agent is consumer driven, meaning we don't guarantee a number of leads and we don't limit you to a number of leads as well. So Catherine, for checking out your ROI and being on top of that, seeing if you're profitable, making sure you're on track for that, go into your advertising tab. There's a couple things you can look at there, and you can also customize and answer 3 different questions that are about your conversion rate, your commission split, and kind of customize that a bit yourself. Do that first, and then you can also contact your business consultant if you want to have more of a conversation about that. One question about entering designations or maybe certificates, different things for your account. If you go to your Profile tab, and on the right-hand side there's an Edit Profile option, you can add different designations about 1/3 of the way down the page. You cannot add any tags or designations next to your name. That is not allowed, and your profile will be pulled down and flagged if you put it with your name at the very top. But there is a spot to do that in your profile when you click on Edit Profile. All right, well, I think that is all the questions I've received so far. Feel free, if we didn't get something answered, contact me at onboardhelp@zillowgroup.com. And I'll follow up with William for you about the listing thing, and then William too about the kind of team benefits. Otherwise, thank you to everybody for attending today. I know you're all very busy, so I appreciate you taking the time. Hopefully, I was able to share some tips that can help you with your account here. Otherwise, let me know if you need help, and have a great rest of your day, everybody. Take care.